Imagine an organism that has been a treasure of Eastern medicine for centuries, a secret ingredient of royal feasts, and today has become a symbol of healthy eating and the subject of a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's not a plant or an animal. It's a mushroom. But no ordinary mushroom, it's a mushroom whose history is inextricably linked with the history of humanity. Today on Craft, we'll delve into the wondrous world of Shiitake, a mushroom the Japanese call the Emperor. We'll follow its journey from a spore hidden deep within the wood to the exquisite dish on your plate and discover why the finest specimens can cost hundreds of dollars. This is a story of patience, tradition, and exquisite craftsmanship spanning millennia. The history of Shiitake mushrooms begins not in a laboratory, but in the dense, humid forests of East Asia. The first written records of their deliberate cultivation date back to the Song dynasty in China, approximately a millennium ago. But legends go back even further. It is said that the Japanese emperor loved these mushrooms so much for their flavor and medicinal properties that he ordered their cultivation throughout the country, bestowing upon them the title of imperial mushrooms. The secret to this long-lasting tradition lies in the unique method of growing mushrooms on natural wooden logs. Unlike intensive greenhouse cultivation, this method is a true art, requiring a keen sense of nature. It all starts with choosing the right tree. Preference is given to deciduous trees with dense, nutritious wood: oak, beech, chestnut, and hornbeam. The tree must be healthy, cut during the winter dormancy period, when sap flow is minimal and nutrients are concentrated in the trunk. This is the ideal food base for the future mushroom. The trunks are sawn into logs approximately 1.2 meters long. However, it is impossible to immediately infect the logs with mycelium. They are left under cover for several weeks. During this time, the natural inhibitors in the wood that hinder mycelial growth are destroyed. Patience and waiting are the keys to success. Now comes the most crucial stage. Holes about 2-3 centimeters deep are drilled in the logs in a staggered pattern. Each hole is manually filled with grain mycelium, the living seeds of the mushroom. The hole is immediately sealed with wax or paraffin, creating a sterile incubator and protecting the future mushroom from competitors and pests. Remarkably, this painstaking work is especially beloved by older Japanese. For them, it's not just labor, but a kind of meditation, a way to connect with nature, and part of a centuries-old tradition. They affectionately call these logs mushroom cradles. After inoculation, the logs are transported to a forested area, the very heart of a natural ecosystem. They are stacked or erected vertically, like a palisade. Here, in the shade of the trees, at temperatures of 20-25 degrees Celsius and humidity around 90%, the mystery begins, life invisible to the eye. Over the course of 6-18 months, the Shiitake mycelium imperceptibly conquers the wood. It grows through the fibers like a spider web, secreting enzymes and converting the wood into easily digestible nutrients. The tree slowly dies, giving birth to a new organism. It's a true symbiosis, extended over time. When the mycelium has fully colonized the log, it's time for awakening. Farmers simulate the rainy season by soaking the logs in ice water for 12 to 24 hours. This temperature shock signals the mycelium, it's time to fruit. A few days later, the first tiny brown caps appear on the bark. And here a legend is born, the Hana-Donko variety. Hana-Donko is the elite of the Shiitake world, accounting for less than 1% of the total harvest. Its distinctive feature is the cracked pattern on the cap, reminiscent of a blooming chrysanthemum or frost on glass. This pattern is formed due to specific conditions: sharp fluctuations in temperature and humidity during the formation of the fruiting body. The mushroom essentially cracks in an attempt to retain moisture. Growing the Hana-Donko mushroom is the pinnacle of farming art. Each log bearing this treasure is meticulously monitored. A custom-made shelter may be erected over it to ensure not a single drop of rain or hail damages the delicate, cracked cap. Why such caution? After all, even the slightest weather-related defect can instantly reduce the mushroom's value from $400 to $40 per kilogram. Harvesting is always a race against time and an exercise in jewel-like precision. Mushrooms are cut by hand at the very moment when the cap is opened, but its edges are still tightly curled inward. A day's delay, and the mushroom will over-ripen, losing its density, aroma, and most of its value. Farmers walk between the logs every day, searching for the few mushrooms that have reached perfection. Each log can fruit for 3 to 7 years, producing 2 to 4 harvest waves per year. This is a long, yet profoundly respectful cycle. In the end, the spent log simply returns to the forest floor, completing the circle. Shiitake is a technological product. Naturally, the traditional, wild method cannot meet the global demand, which amounts to millions of tons. The forest has been supplemented by high-tech mushroom factories. Here, shiitake is grown on substrate blocks, compressed bricks made of sawdust from deciduous trees, rice bran, grain, and mineral supplements. This is a kind of superfood for the mushroom, allowing for a harvest in just 2 to 3 months. The process resembles the work of a pharmaceutical laboratory. Sterilization. The substrate is placed in heat-resistant polypropylene bags and autoclaved at 120 degrees Celsius. This kills all competing microorganisms. Inoculation in a clean zone. The cooled substrate is infected with mycelium under sterile conditions, similar to an operating room. Incubation. The blocks are sent to dark, climate-controlled chambers where the mycelium colonizes the substrate in 30 to 60 days. Fruiting. After incubation, the blocks are moved to light rooms with high humidity and low temperature, which triggers mushroom growth. The industrial method has huge advantages: speed, predictability, and year-round production. But connoisseurs and chefs are unanimous. In terms of depth of flavor and aroma, greenhouse shiitake cannot compare to forest-grown ones. A mushroom grown on wood absorbs a complex bouquet of substances from the timber. Its texture is denser, and its taste is richer and wilder. It's like comparing a tomato from a cottage garden to one from an industrial greenhouse. The difference is palpable. The harvested mushrooms embark on a complex processing path. The best are sold fresh and prized by gourmets. But the main product for the global market is dried shiitake. Drying is not just about removing water. It is a magical process that transforms the taste. During slow dehydration, triggered by the mushroom's own enzymes, complex biochemical reactions occur. Starches break down into sugars, and proteins into amino acids, particularly glutamate, which is the source of the famous umami taste, the fifth basic taste responsible for savoriness and depth. This is precisely why dried shiitake is valued even more highly than fresh in cooking. Simply soaking it in warm water for 20 to 30 minutes revives it, and the resulting infusion becomes a powerful natural flavor enhancer for soups, sauces, and broths. At processing plants, mushrooms are sorted using computer vision cameras and manually. Hana-Donko grade mushrooms are checked with particular care. The pattern, size, stem thickness, and color all matter. Those that don't pass the strict selection are used to produce mushroom powder, a universal seasoning that has conquered the world. Value tested by time. Why shiitake is a superfood. Shiitake's popularity rests not only on its taste. It is a true functional food product. Lentinin, the aforementioned polysaccharide, a powerful immunomodulator being researched in the context of supporting cancer therapy. Aritadenine, a compound that helps reduce cholesterol levels. B vitamins, vitamin D, especially high in mushrooms that were sun-dried after harvesting. High in protein and fiber. Shiitake is a bridge between the past and the future. Between the silence of a Japanese forest and the noise of global markets. Between the wisdom of old masters and the precision of modern technology. It is a story of how the partnership between humans and nature can create something unique, a product where benefit, taste, and beauty merge into one. The next time you see this wrinkled brown mushroom in a store, remember its entire journey. Remember the year of waiting, the raindrops it was shielded from, and the farmer's hands that cut it at the perfect moment. Perhaps this will help you taste that very flavor, the flavor of patience and craft. Do you like shiitake mushrooms? How do you cook them? Share your recipes in the comments. If you enjoyed diving into the world of true craftsmanship, please like this video and subscribe to the Craft channel. Click the bell to not miss our next investigation. Until we meet again in the world of amazing things created by human hands and nature.